Do insecure women, in particular insecure lesbian women, plot and scheme on women who are good to them? Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I've been counseling women and men who have experienced abuse as well as those who have been perpetrators of abuse and other violent crimes. I have a commenter here. I made some posts about insecure men. I've also made some posts, several posts now about insecure women. But this lovely commenter here is asking, she says, do you find insecure women plot and scheme on women who were good to them? Asking in lesbian. So yes, they do. And again, I've made several posts about insecure women, but I think, especially when you're dealing with someone who has pathology, and women can be a little bit more coy about their insecurities, in that they sort of, saddle up next to you under the guise of being a good friend, a good friend and admirer, or someone who just wants to be your safe haven, right? And I think, at first they may come off as like fun and bubbly and just like we're super into the same things together. But what I've noticed about women who are plotters and schemers, they slowly start to. One of the things, and I made a post about this, is women will start to have paranoia when it comes to you. Their thinking will become paranoid about you, and I say it's paranoid because it's a projection. They start to think that you will think and move the way that they do in life and in relationships. So they may say something, maybe even not to you, but maybe to somebody else, or how you're maybe plotting and scheming and doing things that you may have no idea where they got that from. And that's usually a projection, right? Where they think that you're trying to maybe sabotage their life somehow, even when you've been nothing but good to them, right? But they'll sort of twist and turn the narrative. And again, they will start to, women, number two, women will start to mirror and take on your identity, very similar to how I've spoken about how men will do this, but women will start to do that too, to the point where it seems like, oh my gosh, we have so much in common. Really, all she's doing is mirroring or mimicking your personality and giving it back to you. And number three, there is, women like this will also move very, very fast, very fast. And so that they'll want a commitment. They will move in very quickly. They'll rush things, and things like that. So they will also scheme on that. The other way, I don't know what I'm on, number 4 or 5. The other way women will plot and scheme is if, like, if you're dating and you're like, okay, well, I'm dating multiple people, you may be dating women and men, you may be just sort of feeling yourself out, whatever the case may be. And you may have gone out, with women, and women like this will say, they'll try to push the boundaries with you. So if you're just saying like, okay, I want to keep things platonic and cool now because I'm dating multiple people, so I kind of want to slow things down, with where you and I are going, or I don't want to move too fast because you know, I'm just sort of feeling out my dating life or adjusting. They'll say, yeah, 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 I understand, and appear on the surface to be respectful. But in the meantime, in the back of their head, they're waiting to catch you in a weak moment. And the moment they catch you in a weak moment, they are definitely going to push it in drive and move things as fast as they can. A weak moment might be when you're drunk, when you're high under the influence. They may try to force themselves on you to become, be sexual. They also at a certain point may force themselves on you sexually anyway, just to see if you're down, and because even though they appear on the surface to be understanding, really they have an ulterior motive to go ahead and do what they want to do and be sexual with you despite whatever you're talking about. It's like, yeah, you're going to get over that, and I'm just going to get what I want, right? So they're thinking of that, and they're going to definitely push you. So they may do things like kiss you, out of nowhere. They may do things like fondle you out of nowhere, or, again, wait until you're in a weakened state and then try to put the moves on you and things like that. Or, try to be helpful, with the guys that, hey, I'm going to get some, if I'm going to be helpful. So if I drive you home from this party, I expect that you're going to invite me upstairs and we're going to do the horizontal mambo. Women, very similar to men, or even more so than men. Because I've done a post where I've talked about relational aggression with women and how women can be neck and neck or even more relationally aggressive than men. And what that means is sometimes women like this will not take no for an answer. Kind of circling back to my last point, but it can be a situation where it's just like, I'm going to, even if you said no, I'm not interested in you, or no, no, we can't do these things. I'm still going to force the envelope because I don't accept no as an answer, and I don't accept you rejecting my advances. I'm not going to do that. And in the same vein that I don't accept that, and you may not see it at first. You may feel like, okay, we're friends, it's cool, and things like that. But what may be going on behind the scenes is she may be sabotaging relationships or connections with other people. She may be getting feisty, nasty, aggressive, smearing and smutting up your name and things like that. But also, any chance that she's making inappropriate jokes about how you and she are going to secretly be together and you'll come back this way, that kind of stuff, or secret, or not secret, but sort of like jokes about sex under the guise of humor, sex with you and she, and things of that nature, under the guise of being, oh, it's just a joke, and it's this sort of thing, but also in just sort of asking you to go out, repetitively, or come over and let's snuggle and get close and, do things that what couples would do. And so she's trying to get you to sort of do these things under the guise, you'll forget about what we talked about, and you're just going to, you're going to give in to my wiles and my advances, and we're gonna fast track, all of this, and we're gonna forget about what you said. So no is not an option for these types of. And very similar to what I said in the post about homoeroticism, these women, if they find that you're going out with somebody, or if you're friends with somebody and they're sort of secretly plotting against you and things like that, what may happen to you may be a burst of aggression that comes out of nowhere. And that burst of aggression can be physical, where they just sort of grab you. It could be where they get verbally hostile with you. They maybe cuss you out, hang up the phone, or they just get real snippy and make these underhanded remarks that just seem to come out of nowhere. And that's because how dare you? You've given someone else a chance, or you've given someone else attention, and I'm going to be passive aggressive about sort of acting out and lashing out towards you. And so you have these things, and again, they get angry with you spending time with other people, having your own lives, having your own connections. And so they may be sort of shooting some daggers at you the first moment that they get, and trying to guilt trip you and make you feel bad for having other friends, dating other people, and just having your own life. I hope that helps. That's not complete and comprehensive, but that's just a tidbit in 10 minutes.